Welcome viewers, Croutons on. I recently watched some of my old videos and realized that my most wanted characters in Smash vid was really stupid, not what I genuinely wanted, and especially cringy. Because Smash 5 was revealed during the March Direct, and actually no, that's not true. I didn't actually go into a coma. That's just a joke. It's just to add drama, okay? I hid my old self. So I deleted it, but now it means that I don't have a top 10 list of characters that I want in Smash Bros. So I'm recreating one again with a better mic quality, what I actually want, and better editing for your viewing pleasure. I may have gotten my most wanted Smash characters in the last Fighter Pass, but my thirst could not be quenched. Obvious side note, but important. These are opinions, meaning that we all have different characters we want in Smash. I know the internet hates opinions, but I think those aren't too controversial to share. My decisions are, of course, based on personal preferences, moveset concepts, series representation, the impact they made on gaming, or just how popular the character may be. With that said, let's see which characters I really want to see in Smash, whether they make it into the second Fighters Pass or not. It won't top the first one though. Well, for me at least. I mean, Joker and Banjo. That's impossible. Number 10. Star Fox. I love this series, even though I played 3 of their games. If there's one problem this series has for the characters, is that they all have the same base for the moveset. Fox is quick, Falco is the middle ground, and Wolf is the heaviest. Now don't get me wrong, I love all those characters, but they all have the same moveset, well, feeling different enough, but it's like Marth and Roy, just not as obvious. So which character would be able to change it up? Well, I think Crystal is the best one for that. Crystal from Star Fox Adventures is the one I'd like the most. Some people didn't like the game or are shitting on it because of JonTron, but I really enjoyed it. It's a good game. A hidden gem, you could say. She'll use her baton as melee for her A attacks, while her specials throw out a bunch of different spells such as fire and ice. If you played the game or even saw her Sys trophy, you already know. The more popular request I'm seeing is Slippy, and not that I'm against him, but we have a better option here that could truly change the face of the Star Fox gameplay. Number 9.
Piece of cake.
There are quite a bunch of genres that have yet to be represented in Smash, one of them being the horror genre. Luigi and Simon can technically count, but they're just in a scary setting. I think the most popular franchise to represent horror is Resident Evil, but there are quite a bunch of characters to choose from. Leon, Chris, Jill, and maybe Ethan? Kinda. If I had to pick one, I'd go with Leon. He's quite popular and everyone thinks RE4 is the best game of the series. Well, I think it is since it gets ported to every fucking console known to man. 10 versions? Excuse me? But there are other horror games like Silent Hill and Fatal Frame, but the characters from these games can't really do much. Pyramid Head would have to be super slow and big. I'd see him more as an assist trophy like Black Knight. My point here is that I want a horror rep in Smash. Resident Evil mostly. Number 8. We have first party and third party refs in Smash. But you know what we're missing? Indie characters. Now, I'm not saying that we should have all the indie characters ever, because there are just way too many, but one to represent them all would be great. There are 3 characters that I think of when I hear indie rep for Smash. They're Shovel Knight, Shantae, and Sans. Now if you had to give me a choice, I would brainlessly say Shovel Knight, but I know that the bigger one is Sans. Undertale is a huge deal, and I'm aware of that. I haven't finished it though. Now he's kind of a meme, but Sans would be an amazing way to represent indies, believe it or not. But now he's a Mii costume. As for Shantae, why her you may ask? Shantae is actually one of the longest indie characters on a Nintendo console, all the way back on the Game Boy. So she would be a good place to start. She's a spirit, so it doesn't completely deconfirm her. As for my personal favorite, Shovel Knight, he's everywhere and first started on the Wii U, where it outsold the PS4 and Xbox versions combined, even though the Wii U sold super poorly. What? But why do I want Shovel Knight over Sans or Shantae? Well, because of his design, and hitting people with a shovel is very funny. but also the kind of moveset we can get from him. Unfortunately, he's an assist trophy. I mean, Rivals of Aether made him super fun to play, which reminds me I'd like to have Orcane in Smash. Or Crag, cause he's cooler. But it's a niche game, I think, so... Sorry, Dan. I still love your game, though. But yeah, Sans, Shovel Knight, and Shantae. Either one would make sense. But for me... Shovel Knight, please. Number 7. Here we go again. Another game genre we don't have represented in Smash yet are visual interactive novels. There are a lot of those games like Steins Gate, Fate, and Danganronpa. But my money for me has to be on Ace Attorney with Phoenix Wright. Ace Attorney is a really good series that does not sell all that much, with around 7.3 million units with 30 titles. If you were to do the math, one game approximately sells a tiny bit more than 235,000 copies. It's kind of a shame really, since it has a great story, lovable characters, and just an overall amazing atmosphere going from happy to serious in a matter of seconds. And I can hear some people say, how is Phoenix Wright supposed to fight? He's a lawyer after all, he can't fight. Well, tell that to Sakurai and Capcom themselves. He managed to be a fighter in Marvel vs. Capcom... Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And if Sakurai can make characters like Mr. Game & Watch and Duck Hunt fight, then Phoenix is most definitely suited to become a fighter in Smash. So yeah, I'd like to see him in because of the character himself, and to make his franchise a tiny bit more well known, because at the end of the day, it's what Smash is all about. A big advertisement. Number 6. There are already a bunch of platformer mascots in Smash, but you know which one we're missing? Bubsy! Crash. Rayman. Number 6 is Rayman. Rayman is a character from Ubisoft or Poopysoft, depending which way you look at it. Before Ubisoft milked Assassin's Creed to the ground and plagued us with Just Dance games every year, they had a series called Rayman, and it's one of the best platformers out there. Well, the recent ones at least. It's a shame that now it's usually associated with the Rabbids, and not only that, the Rabbids have a higher chance of getting in Smash. But let's not get angry here. I want the one that started it all to be in Smash. His limitless characteristics can make him a really good character. Throwing punches, using his helicopter, throwing huge plums and ride on them. His amiibo would look like shit, but he'd be a really good fit next to Mario in our number 3 spot. But there are other characters in between these two.
Let's tip the scales.
Number 5.
Thunder!
A little thing real quick. If you watched this far, first of all, thank you a lot. And please subscribe and check my other stuff. Don't be afraid to take the 69 sub away from me, just do it. Alright, I'm done plugging myself. I really want the Monster Hunter from the game of the same name. We have the Rathalos as a boss, and it's a huge missed opportunity to not have the hunter himself. Oh, you're calling this a shitty name? Look at the hero over here! Look at him and laugh! For real though, Nintendo had a very long history with Monster Hunter for quite some time until World came out. As for his moveset, he can have so many great things. Make him use all the different weapons from his series and we got a great character. His katana for his jab, kinda like Shulk's where he uses the weapon as a finisher. His great blade for his forward smash. His recovery could be the dual blades, kinda like how Link spins around. Use the bow guns and all that, and I'd kinda envision him as a mix of Link, Ganondorf, and Byleth. Especially Byleth. So yeah, Monster Hunter and Smash, please. Also, this is my last Capcom rep for the rest of the video. I swear, I don't know why there are so many. I'm not even a Capcom fan. Number 4. Hey, you know what's an amazing franchise that's got really shitty representation in Smash? Legend of Zelda. I mean, look at this shit. We have 3 Links, 2 Zeldas, and Ganondorf. Seriously? That's all you can come up with? There are so many characters that can join. People want Impa, Skull Kid, Vati, but these picks are trash. Except Impa, that one makes sense. I got a way better one though. Ravio.
Listen to me, please!
Why the fuck do I want Ravio over other cooler characters? The moveset potential. Ravio is a shopkeeper in Link Between Worlds, right? So imagine him using all those iconic items from the series. The hammer, the fire rod, ice rod, tornado rod, sand rod, the net. That'd be funny for neutral air. And his spot dodge, he would turn into a painting. It's beautiful. And I can hear it from the people who know, so spoiler alert for Link Between Worlds. Cover your ears until the visual signal on screen. You said you didn't want another Link, right? Then why are you adding in another? You can uncover your ears now. Oh wait, you can't hear. Now you should though. And my answer to that is, I don't care. He looks different enough. My main point for the number 4 spot is, add another Zelda character for fuck's sake. Ravio, Impa, or Tingle. Either one would make me happy. Number 3. Now here's who I think would be great alongside Rayman. Remember that part? When we think of Mario's rival, Sonic is the first character that comes to mind. And you'd be right. But for a brief moment, we also had another competitor on the scene during the PS1 era. This character being...
Crash Bandicoot!
Crash to most people is the face of PlayStation. Even though that's not completely true, that would be Kratos, but nobody wants him. Crash is a perfect character to add in Smash. He looks goofy and he acts goofy. With Crash 4 releasing soon, not for the Switch yet, but I'm pretty sure it will come eventually, I think now would be the best time. His moveset would be weird to come up with, but he can slide, spin, imagine a Zelda neutral B but 3 times less cancerous because he can move around and shit, ride the polar bear, use the Wampazooka, it'd be crazy. But I mostly want to see the trailer. Just imagine this. Remember the old ad where Crash came out of a car and yelled at the Nintendo headquarters? I want this, but this time, Mario actually comes out and they beat the fuck out of each other. Just amazing. Number 2. Back on November 1st of 2018.
Oh no!
Chronicles 2. We decided
Are you serious, dude?
I want Rex from Xenoblade 2 in Smash. Sakurai said he couldn't add him in because of time constraints, and well, he said that about ARMS, and guess what? We got an ARMS character now. Not only was that game mediocre at best, if we get ARMS and no Rex, I'm gonna be even more salty than I originally was. Rex is like Chrom during Smash 4. He was done super dirty being a spirit and a Mii costume. So just please, let's get Rex in alongside Pyra and Mythra. And you may be thinking, how in the hell can you put 3 characters into one? Well, you don't. Get ready, cause shit's gonna get complicated. If you played the game, you know what I mean. Rex is the one that does the fighting, and Pyra or Mythra stay in the background. In case you don't know, Pyra and Mythra change between one another, so you can add this for the downbeat. So what do they do in the back? Well, they do what a blade does, which is increase Rex's affinity. Affinity is raised by staying close to them, and it falls off if you get away from your blade. In this case, we'll put 3 levels of affinity. Pyra will sometimes shield Rex. The shield halves the oncoming damage, and the frequency of it appearing depends on the affinity that you have stored. Mythra, on the other hand, gives more damage the higher the affinity. It would fit with their character, since one of them is precious and the other is a simpleton.
A simpleton?
The neutral special uses a special art based on how much affinity you have. Rex gives the sword to Pyra or Mythra, leaving him weaponless, until Pyra or Mythra finishes their special art. As for the final smash, it changes based on who is out. Pyra uses Burning Sword, and Mythra would use light arrows. His playstyle would be super unique, with no combat mechanic that people hate, and rewards players that can stay in one area of the stage. Will you sacrifice the boost in attack or defense, or be a predictable sitting duck? It sounds like a nightmare on paper, but trust me, it's not as complicated as it sounds. I'm sure that his inclusion would please all the Xenoblade fans and myself. Here we are. Before we get to number 1, I'd like to mention some characters that were very close to being in this list, that way nobody gets butthurt. Waddle Dee. Even though I'd love to have him in Smash so he can represent the 4th player in Kirby, I wouldn't be particularly going out of my seat if he was announced as a DLC. I'd like him to be in, but not as a DLC. Hopefully part of the main roster for next time. A grass type Pokemon. I love grass type Pokemon. Don't judge me. I want the triangle to be closed. Just give me Sceptile or Decidueye. I do not care. Black Shadow. Now the reason I wanted this character was so we could give Ganondorf a unique moveset. Black Shadow would fit perfectly for the Ganondorf moveset, which can then give the opportunity to reward Ganondorf. Now of course it's too late, but I still want a unique moveset for the King of Evil. Heihachi. I started playing Tekken 7 recently, and I really like this game. I think we're just missing Heihachi to finish the fighting reps, since Scorpion can't get in. Another Persona character. Yeah, I'm greedy. Give me my boy Yu or my girl Kasumi. Makoto can come in as long as there's a door skin. Actually, no, fuck Makoto. Bring in Aegis. Yeah. Also, I forgot to mention Dante. I wanted to add him in, but there would be too many Capcom reps after that, so I decided against it. He'd be cool though. I'd like to see him against Bayonetta. So hopefully we get that. Number 1.
Looking cool, Joker.
And now, my most wanted character ever, to the point where I would say to Sakurai in person, I will never ask for anything ever again, is Sora from Kingdom Hearts. Yeah, go on about your whole Disney problem. But I wish to have him in Smash, okay? This is my list, I can hope. Let's be honest. We don't want Sora because of Disney. We want him because we love our boy. His gameplay would be combo based, where you can finish off with either your combo finisher or a spell using a special attack. In terms of spell, he'd probably have an MP system like Hero, and use Firaga, Blizzaga, Iroga for the recovery, kinda like Hero basically. And I think the down special can be a menu like Hero, but without the randomness. Sora is such a cool character from an amazing franchise, and imagine the soundtrack it will come with. Of course there'd only be 2 tracks because Square would pull a square, but it would be better than nothing. He was number 3 in my original list of characters I wanted, and now he became number 1 since Banjo and Joker got in. I grew up with him, and I sure do hope he can join the ultimate battle. And that was my list. Did I miss someone? Let me know in the comments what you want and I'll tell you what I think. Maybe make a video about it later on? The only thing I ask is that you keep the comments section clean, alright? By that I mean, don't harass anyone, otherwise I'll have to come in and I don't really want to do that. Anyways, please subscribe, check out my other vids, and follow my socials. Anyways, here's the outro, and as always, please, take care.
Where